You ever get a phone call in the middle of the night where the voice on the other end doesn't sound like the person you know, like, not just tired or groggy or drunk, but small, fractured, drowning? That's what my brother sounded like when he called me at 12:17 a.m. last month. He could barely string a sentence together. Just this panicked, shaky voice whispering, "I think I'm dying. My chest is caving in. I can't breathe. Please." And here's the part that still blows my mind. This is the same man who, 1 year earlier, told me, while smirking, "By the way, that anxiety was just a TikTok trend." Yeah. Buckle up, this one's got panic attacks, petty revenge, and a care package so ironic it could have been merch. Hey friends, before we dive in, if you've ever had someone dismiss your mental health, or if you just love a story where karma shows up with a little smirk, hit that like button, drop a comment, and consider subscribing. Your support keeps these stories flowing and helps us shine a light on what empathy really looks like. Alright. Let's go back to the beginning. So I'll be real with you, my brother and I weren't super close growing up. Not in a toxic way. Or anything, but just different people. He's older than me by about 4 years, and from a young age, he sort of settled into that golden child mold. Confident, athletic, popular. The kind of person who could charm his way out of anything. Me? I was the quieter one. Always reading. Always in my head. Emotional. I didn't cry a lot, but when I did, it was big. My brain never shut up. I'd spend hours obsessing over things other people could shrug off in 10 seconds. So yeah, I got that sensitive label early on, and he leaned into being the chill one. But we were still family. We still had moments of closeness, until this one conversation blew a hole in all of that. It happened about a year ago. I remember because I had just finished a therapy session that completely knocked me off my feet. I was raw. You know that feeling when something you've been carrying quietly for years finally comes to the surface and you just collapse for a bit? That was me. So, later that night, we're texting about something totally unrelated, some dumb reality show he got into, and I casually mention, "Man, I've had a rough mental health week. Just a lot of anxiety lately." There was this pause in the thread, and then he replied with, "Everyone's anxious these days. It's just trendy now because of TikTok." I stared at my screen for a long time. Read it twice. 3 times. He didn't follow it up with a laughing emoji or a JK. Nothing, just let that sentence sit there, like it was gospel. And here's the thing, this wasn't just ignorance. This was dismissal. It wasn't just him not understanding anxiety. It was him rolling his eyes at the very idea that I could be struggling with it, that I, his own sibling, was just hopping on some Gen Z mental health bandwagon for likes or attention or... I don't know what he thought, but whatever it was, it hurt bad. I didn't clap back. I didn't educate. I didn't argue. I just shut the door to mentally, emotionally. I decided that day, we're done talking about my mental health. I let him believe whatever fairy tale helped him sleep at night. You learn pretty quickly who's safe and who's not when it comes to your inner world. Some people will hold space for your pain. Others will try to paint over it, laugh it away, or make it about them. I wasn't mad at him, not really. Just disappointed. So we drifted, a little. Still talked. Still sent memes. But the depth? Gone, until that night. Scene transition, the phone call. It was a Tuesday night, weirdly quiet. I was up late reading, because of course I was, and my phone lit up with his name. I almost didn't answer. It was late. Unusual, but something in my chest said, pick it up. So I did, and what I heard, it's hard to describe unless you've been there. He was gasping. Like, truly struggling to pull in air. His words were clipped and panicked. "Dude, inhale, I don't know what's happening. Inhale, my heart, something's wrong." My blood went cold immediately. I'm out of bed, pacing. "Okay. Hey. You're okay. Where are you right now?" "Home." "I can't, my chest, dude, I think I'm having a heart attack." And then it clicked. I knew this feeling. I'd been there. Curled up on the floor, heart racing, hands tingling, convinced I was dying when really, it was my brain sounding false alarms. He was having a panic attack, but try telling someone who's never believed in anxiety that they're not dying of a heart attack. They're just having an invisible meltdown. It's not easy. Still, I softened my voice, lowered the pitch, tried to give him something to hold on to. Okay. I need you to do exactly what I say. You're safe. Your body is lying to you right now, but I'm not. I'm here. I walked him through grounding exercises. 5 things you see. 4 you can touch. 3 you hear. I told him to put one hand on his stomach, the other on his chest. I coached his breath until I heard the rhythm shift. The whole thing took about 30 minutes. And by the end, he was quiet, exhausted, humbled. He barely said goodbye. Just whispered, thanks, and hung up. I sat on my floor for a while after that, processing, holding both relief and something else. A strange, poetic ache. I didn't want revenge. Not the old kind, anyway. What I wanted was something slower. Something pointed. So the next morning, I went to work. I built a care package. Not just any package, but a starter kit. The kind of thing you'd see in one of those soothing aesthetic TikToks he used to roll his eyes at. Inside the box? A weighted blanket, soft as clouds, charcoal gray. A calming herbal tea with lavender and chamomile. A set of affirmation cards. A guided journal for mental health check-ins. A stress relief fidget ring. And a candle that literally said exhale on the front. But the piece de resistance, the little cards I taped to each item, cute fonts, pastel colors. Think Etsy core pettiness. Welcome to the trend. Brain sparkles, influencer tier unlocked. This season's anxiety starter pack, #panic but make it fashion. I boxed it up, shipped it, and didn't say a word. He didn't text when it arrived. Didn't call, but a few days later, I got a message. It was short, almost shy. It just said, I think I owe you an apology. That was it, but it meant everything because for the first time, he got it. He felt it in his own bones. And when that empathy finally kicked in, it stayed. Since then, he's been different. He still doesn't know the right words half the time, but he tries. He listens. He asks. A few weeks ago, he even sent me a meme about intrusive thoughts with a laughing emoji and wrote, "This you?" I laughed so hard I cried. Here's the thing, sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's not screaming or ghosting or burning bridges. Sometimes the pettiest, most satisfying revenge is just giving people the exact empathy they once denied you, wrapped in a bow and branded like a lifestyle. It's showing up for them in the moment they finally understand what you've been living with all along, because the truth, mental health isn't a trend. It's a terrain, and everyone, sooner or later, gets lost in it. What matters is whether they remember who helped them find the way back. If this story hit home, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever had someone finally understand what you've been through after mocking it? Or have you ever been on the other side, learning empathy the hard way? Either way, this is a space for real talk. So hit that like button, subscribe for more stories like this, and if you're feeling generous, share this with someone who could use a gentle nudge toward compassion. Thanks for watching. And hey, take care of your mind. It's not trendy. It's vital.